Diddy is seeking revenge. Back in January, he filed a $50 million lawsuit against News Nation, Courtney Burgess, and the shakedown attorney, Ariel Mitchell. Well, now in a new filing, he's upping the ante to $100 million.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So it was a few months ago that we covered this interview on News Nation that Courtney Burgess, who was subpoenaed by the grand jury in this case, however, did not end up testifying. Not shocked. Because when we covered this interview that they did on News Nation, we said back then he did not seem credible. Because at the time, he was saying that he had videos, he had the real Kim Porter memoir. However, since then, we haven't seen any of that happen. Back in January, Diddy filed a defamation lawsuit against all of the parties. More so News Nation, because they're the ones who's going to have the money. But it was Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell who did this interview. We played a few clips for you back then. I'm going to remind you some of the things that Courtney Burgess said during this interview.
Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning
Victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
Based off of this interview alone, I can see, because remember, there was also paparazzi footage of them speaking to the paparazzi coming out of the Southern District of New York, where he was interviewed by the grand jury. I can already understand why they decided not to bring him and put him on the witness stand. Based off the coverage that we did here on the channel, and if you missed any of it, there's a whole separate playlist where we covered it day by day. And we even had a prosecutor come and break down some of what was playing out during that time. I know the witnesses in the Diddy trial did not seem stellar, but can you imagine if Courtney Burgess went on the stand and testified? Again, we didn't see or hear any of the footage that he claimed to have or the memoir that he claimed to have. Not saying that it doesn't exist, but none of that apparently was used in this Diddy trial. Not sure if it would have changed anything anyway. But more was said. And this particular part of the interview, it's very important for you to pay attention to Ariel Mitchell's body language and when she interrupts him, trying to clean up some of the mistakes that he makes in his response to the interviewer.
Also on the flash drives, Courtney, was what looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
We don't know.
I
don't know how. Yeah.
I don't know how, who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
What you received on the flash drives, was it the completed book or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60, it's only about 54 pages. It was
Sure, and in the beginning, it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes. I haven't even read the book.
It also makes me wonder, did he even prepared well enough for this interview? Because if you watch the full interview, it's not a long interview, and it's still up on News Nation's YouTube channel. If you watch the interview from beginning to end, none of his answers felt credible. None of his answers felt succinct. None of his answers felt like, sir, are you just the middleman in regards to this? But again, in this defamation case, what will happen is that he will have to prove, well, no, you can't sue me for things that are true. So he will have to provide whatever footage that he claims to have that include, it's important to know, it's not just footage of freak-offs. He's claiming that people are inebriated, and he's claiming that some of these individuals are minors.
Do you know who the woman is?
No.
And to be clear, he received it in its complete form. So I think just to make sure we have some clarity here, the manuscript that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form. It's not that he edited it or changed anything.
Got it.
He did give it to someone else who then edited it, but that's not how he received it.
Okay, so Ariel, did your client, Courtney, receive the book from the woman who seems to have written it, saying, I'm a woman of my word, and this book is going to make it to print?
I don't know if he received it from a man or a woman. He can answer that.
I received it from a man. I tell you, somebody she was dating.
Do you know if the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter?
It was, yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it, received it.
You spoke to Kim Porter?
Yes.
So Kim Porter.
Just saying hi.
Okay.
Just saying hi. Didn't.
Okay.
You see, pay attention to Ariel Mitchell's response, because she's trying to clean it up. She's trying to interrupt, but then he keeps going. So she's like, all right, because she doesn't want to make it too obvious. And look, some might say maybe he misunderstood what the interviewer was asking. All very possible, but the entire interview felt this way, where it's just like, sir, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you 100% sure?
And give me clarity on the timeline.
No, I'm trying to get him to provide clarity of, was there a conversation with her?
No, I was talking to the person, and he said, hold up, this is Courtney, be right here. Let me say something to him. He said, I know him, put me on speaker. Then that's how we end up speaking.
And then later, somebody else came and brought you the manuscript.
Right. Before I left ATL.
Are you convinced? Well, here's the thing. I already know Ariel Mitchell, she's facing a lot of backlash right now in lawsuits and things like that, allegedly, in regards to some of her involvement in these lawsuits against Diddy and these stories and interviews that she was doing with other people when it comes to this Diddy trial, or when it comes to the Diddy accusations. Well, as I mentioned to you before, she's named in this lawsuit along with Courtney Burgess and News Nation. News Nation's the one with the money here, let's be honest. According to Hollywood Reporter, they said Sean Diddy Combs is doubling down on his previously filed lawsuit against a man and his attorney, both of whom, he says, in an amended legal filing submitted this week, made defamatory comments about the rap mogul's alleged involvement with S parties attended by both celebrities and underage individuals. Combs has amended the complaint originally filed in New York federal court in January, as he was awaiting his S trafficking and racketeering trial in the same venue, to seek $100 million in damages from the plaintiffs, Courtney Burgess, attorney Ariel Mitchell, and News Nation's parent company, Nexstar. The suit points to an October interview with Burgess and a September interview with Mitchell, in which the two allege video footage Burgess states that he possesses showing Combs allegedly SAing celebrities, some of whom appear underage, according to him, two or three. One interview saw Burgess present still images allegedly from the videos in which Justin Bieber was shown kissing an unidentified male. They continue, in the amended complaint filed Monday, August 11th in New York's Southern District, Combs is now seeking no less than $100 million in damages for the, quote, severe reputational harm caused by Burgess's outlandish claims. which Combs' attorney alleged culminated in a media frenzy against the mogul. The allegations aired on News Nation over multiple interviews, also included an assertion from Burgess that Combs' late ex-wife, Kim Porter, with whom he had 4 kids, gave him a copy of her memoir to him and tapes of the alleged celebrity essays before she died in 2018. So you saw that little bit of confusion in the last clip that I played for you. The interviews fueled the still ongoing frenzy of misinformation about the rap mogul that began following his September federal indictment, arrest, and ongoing incarceration at a Brooklyn federal lockup. Speculation about celebrity involvement in Combs' so-called Freakoff parties continues to run wild as rumors swirl of who knows what and was present at the alleged events. At Combs' trial, the actual Freakoff events were described as drug-fueled sexual encounters with his girlfriend and hired male S-workers, which Combs would film while pleasuring himself and directing the actions of others. At no time during the trial did we even get a glimmer of a celebrity-fueled Freakoff. The only time we got that was when Jane testified being at someone else's Freakoff where there were other people. In this pitiful spectacle, all pretense of objectivity has been abandoned as a global audience feasts at the all-you-can-eat buffet of wild lies and conspiracy theories, the lawsuit states. Ariel Mitchell, and Burgess are among the worst perpetrators in this offensive scenario. They eagerly court every opportunity to broadcast blatant falsehoods, pretending they have proof that Mr. Combs engaged in heinous acts, knowing that no such proof exists, Combs' team states. Burgess, who was subpoenaed by federal prosecutors to testify in front of a grand jury, considering additional charges against the rap mogul, was asked in a News Nation interview if the alleged image of Bieber is legit, to which he responded, yes, definitely. You may recall that Justin Bieber a few months ago came out and denied any involvement in or being abused by Diddy. He also said on News Nation that of the 8 celebrities seen in the footage, 2 or 3 appear to be minors according to the earlier lawsuit. News Nation is accused in the complaint of lending its credibility and amplifying the defendant Burgess and Mitchell's lies, giving them a mainstream media platform to malign Combs for defendants' collective profit. A message was sent to Mitchell by The Hollywood Reporter on Tuesday. They did not receive an immediate response. The Nexstar Media Group's Executive Vice President and Chief Communications Officer, Gary Whiteman, declined to comment when reached by email on Tuesday. In September, Combs, as you know, was arrested on charges of trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. During his 8-week trial, details emerged about his non-traditional sex life as prosecutors painted a picture of a network of employees that claimed worked to sexually exploit Combs' exes. The jury ultimately did not buy the prosecutor's narrative and found him guilty only of the lesser charges of transportation to engage in prostitution. As you know, since the verdict was read last month, Combs' attorneys have worked to have him released to his Miami home until his sentencing on October 3rd. This has apparently also involved discussions with Trump's administration regarding a potential pardon for Combs. Since the trial concluded, lead prosecutor Maureen Comey, the daughter of former FBI director and Trump foil James Comey, was fired by the administration for her lead prosecutor role for the Southern District of New York. Yeah, we've covered a lot of that. If you missed it, if you're new here to the channel, there's a whole separate playlist where we talk about this. Here's the thing, though. In regards to this lawsuit and this amendment to his original lawsuit that he filed back in January, do I believe that this is just the beginning? I do. I do believe that this is just the beginning of Diddy seeking revenge. Aubrey O'Day said she's worried about Diddy coming out because she feels like he is going to retaliate. Not necessarily just against her, but everything and everyone that has something to say. Here's the thing, though. Do I believe that Diddy was not a good guy? That was already proven. Was it proven in regards to the charges he was facing? No. But what was proven that he did harm these people in relationships, okay? However, there were probably countless people, content creators, media outlets that would interview people like Courtney Burgess and other people that had allegations. There are other YouTube creators that would speculate on all of these conspiracy theories without really giving you the disclaimer of, well, these are just allegations. This is what people are saying. So I do believe that Diddy will be seeking retaliation against a lot of people. And I think this is just the beginning. He's going to go after the people that have the money. He's not just trying to silence people. He's going after the people that have the money because remember, he spent millions and millions of dollars just on this case. And he continues to spend millions of dollars fighting the multiple civil lawsuits that are against him. We're going to continue to follow this story, guys. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching.
Here we go